Hey there, Mike Dunn with Gamingtrend, and I'm here at Gen Con 2024 with a very special guest. This is someone we've talked to before about Desert Quest, Anjali Bhimani, and she's got a couple new things that she's working on.
I do.
Anjali, how are you doing
I'm
today?
so good. Gen Con has been just amazing and exhausting in the exact right kind of way. Like leaving everything on the table exhausting. It's been just wonderful. And there's so many cool announcements and so many cool things happening this year with the 50th anniversary of D&D and so many launches happening. It's just been awesome thing after awesome thing.
Fantastic, fantastic. And you were in the live play last night.
I was. It was so much fun. It was such a hard secret to keep because that cast was just like insane.
Yeah.
You know, my sweet, sweet, beloved, crazy, chaotic Quiddy was the DM, and then we had Brennan, who's like I've said this before so many times. His brain is just like it boggles my mind how his brain must work. And then Neil Newbon and Samantha Bayard from BG3, who are both just such sweet, sweet, sweet people. So.
Super cool.
Yeah.
I love that D&D is kind of leaning into the Baldur's Gate 3 characters.
Totally. Well, and it's so lovely too because it really allows for everyone to engage. Whatever your way in to the game is, you can get there.
Yeah. Well, I know my son got super into BG3 and is now a Neil super fan.
Well, I think get in line, kid, because there are a lot of those, and well deserved.
Yes. All right, so you had a big announcement this week.
I did, and I'm so excited about it. I can't even begin to tell you. This has been something that has been rolling around in my mind for a while now, probably since like the end of. Well, I guess we did the Kickstarter end of 21. We fulfilled it beginning of 22. So. I announced this week that we are going to be doing a charity stream called The Puppy Roll, where gamers and people that you know from television and live plays and all of that are going to be coming on and playing D&D as their pets.
Nice.
So we have a stacked cast. We have Matthew Mercer as Omar. We have Ashley Johnson as Sully. We have Maggie Robertson as Cricket. We have Emily Swallow as Norma Jean Meatballs,
nice.
And of course Abria Iyengar as Suvi, because Suvi from Worlds Beyond Number. It's just a perfect fit.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so I'm really excited. We are going to be raising funds and awareness for an organization called Petco Love, which is Petco's 501c3. They do incredible work. I met them at the beginning of 22. Beginning, I think around the beginning, when they brought puppies to the red carpet, and I decided that should be how all red carpets should be for the rest of time. Like, why would you not have puppies on the red carpet? It was just it was just absolutely wonderful to get to meet them and hear about the work that they're doing. And so they kept coming to a few different red carpets for this particular organization, the Hollywood Creative Alliance, and finally this year. Well, pause on that. So then, when I was fulfilling my Kickstarter, one of the tiers that we had was play a one-shot with me and my friend Dave Walters would be the DM.
Yeah.
And I decided, okay, well, my book that we were kickstarting is largely pictures of me and Charlie, and one of the pictures has me as a knight and Charlie as a bard, so I wanted to play as Charlie. Well, it makes perfect sense, right? So I loved the character so much and loved playing as my little guy so much that I thought, it would be so much fun to do this for a good cause. It'd be so much fun to get some of my friends together and really make this happen. And finally, at the beginning of this year, I chatted with Petco Love, and we decided that this was going to happen this year sometime. And it turns out that this month happens to be National Dog Month, which is perfect timing. It also happens to be my birthday, so this is going to be a wonderful birthday gift for me.
Well, happy birthday.
Thank you. And it also was the only time that we could get all of these people together, so it was perfect for August.
Fantastic. Now, I'm surprised I didn't hear Luke Gygax and Grogu.
Now, here's the thing. There
Joe
are
Manganiello
going to be a
and
few
Bubbles.
surprises. There are going to be a few surprises. I started with the folks that I know and play well with, but obviously my goal is definitely to do this more than
Keep on
once.
going,
So the more we raise, the more of a chance that the success of that enables us to keep doing it every year. Because I was inspired, obviously, by the Puppy Bowl, which is so much fun. So if you think of this as sort of an amalgam between because I was also very inspired by Critical Role's Red Nose Day
Right.
one-shots and how they did those. And so he's a sort of the Puppy Bowl meets Red Nose Day for Critical Role.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, and I imagine Joe Manganiello would love to play as Bubbles.
Oh my gosh, Joe, call me. If you see this before August 20th, we must talk.
Now, did you know there's a booth, an artist booth in the exhibit hall where they're advertising that they will do a portrait of your pet in armor?
I did not know that, but I will tell you this. The art by our artist,
That's where I was
Julia
going with this.
Madalina, she is incredible. She's also the artist for the ProgCore campaign that Todd Stashwick and David Nett just funded, and they're putting out the ProgCore thing that we're doing. She is absolutely incredible, and when she sent me the art of these dogs, I literally would go back to my phone and just like scroll through it just for fun, the way I look at my dog in real life. I'm like, oh, it's so cute. Let's just make some happy makers. I'm hoping that all of my players are going to take it home and frame it and put it on their walls.
Lovely.
It's really, really, she's fantastic. She's just a wonderful, wonderful artist.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Well, definitely looking forward to that. We'll have to cover that. Keep on covering that at Gamingtrend.
Yes, please. And also, if you have a chance to check it out, bit.ly/thepuppyroll. That's where that'll lead to our Tiltify. Donations are already open. We're doing milestone giveaways. We're doing all sorts of stuff. If you can't donate and you just want to share, but you do still want to be a part of it, if you sign up at thepuppyroll.com, then you will be entered into all of the free giveaways that we are doing throughout when we hit those milestones. So there are all sorts of ways to participate. There are going to be more fun ways on the internet that we are sharing this week. So sign up, go there, and then the actual stream will air on youtube.com/sweetange, which is my channel.
Excellent. And what day is that?
August 20th, Tuesday, August 20th.
Excellent. Excellent.
The one day we could get all of these people together in 6 months.
Hey, you know.
Welcome to modern life.
Yeah, well, that's.
It's like it's a D&D standard, like the
Yeah,
D&D,
it's-
right? The
exactly.
big bad of D&D is scheduling. That's
Yeah,
what it is.
yeah, exactly. Now you got something else going on too.
I do.
I mean, you've got probably even more than just we're going to talk about. You've got so many coals in the fire.
I don't sit still.
Yeah.
And there's so much fun stuff to be done. Like, we live in an age where so many people are crossing the streams. Sorry, Venkman. But so many people are crossing between mediums and taking bits and pieces of everything and just finding more and more ways to enjoy storytelling. And I love that so much because I think for so many years, it was very much like if you did TV, you did TV. If you did voice acting, you did voice acting. You did theater, you did theater.
Everything was very siloed.
I've never been that guy. I've always been the guy who's like, I'm going to go over there. I want to do this thing. I used to say that I have career ADHD, but now I realize that not only is that a superpower, both in the neurodiversity manner and in your career, but diversifying your creativity is really important.
Oh, absolutely.
Because that's when you get inspired by all of the different ways that all of the different media you work in, all of the different idiosyncrasies that they have, and how can I make this one work with this, and it becomes really fun.
Well, yeah, and a lot of times you don't even realize how something you did in one really can help you do things.
Absolutely. Like in terms of skills, absolutely.
Yeah.
My theater training, 100% is the reason that I've been able to do voice acting and motion capture, especially motion capture, because I think there's a common misconception that when people are doing mocap and performance capture for games, that they're just using their voice. And it is a 360 performance that you are doing with cameras all around you, and if you aren't in that character physically, as if there's an audience right in front of you or all around you, it doesn't work.
Yeah, no, otherwise it sounds like you're just reading, right? Like
Well, yeah, but also the physicality of it. That's what I mean. Like even though they can turn anyone into anything with mocap, you still have to have the physicality of that. If I walking like a girl and I'm supposed to be playing a 20-foot dragon,
right?
That's not gonna work. You see Andy Serkis and the work that he did. No one would call that voice acting.
No, exactly,
right?
exactly.
So that's why I think theater is really, really important to that. Sam Bayard and Neil Newbon, Shakespearean trained actors. I think it's a very important thing to realize that everybody needs to be fully well-rounded.
Yeah, fantastic. So yeah, let's talk about this other thing. It's a podcast with John Hamm.
Yes, so John Hamm is the executive producer and the lead in a podcast called Dungeon Masters, which is their take on the Dallas Egbert case. and all the things that went down in that crazy pants time.
Yeah.
That was 1979. It was actually right before I started playing. I started playing like 82, 83.
Yeah.
And the Satanic Panic and all the silliness that happened there. But the story is told in such a unique way. So we have John playing the lead, the detective assigned to the case, and then Will Wheaton will be playing Gary Gygax.
That's awesome.
And these are based on conversations that David Kushner, who is the journalist David Kushner, had with Gary during all of that, and how that affected him, how the Egbert case maybe affected the game.
Right. So yeah, like just on a personal level, I remember watching Mazes and Monsters.
Someone just told me about that the other day.
Oh,
I was like, I can't believe I haven't seen this movie. How have I missed it?
It was probably about the same level as my excitement and then disappointment after watching the Star Wars Holiday Special when I was a kid.
I feel like now I know what I'm getting into, like I'm watching it for a different purpose.
Yes, yeah. I was excited. I was like, ooh, I'm really into D&D. And then I watched that and I'm like, well, that's not cool. Actually, it's funny. I interviewed Luke Gygax earlier this year, and he was talking about growing up Gygax, which is a thing that he talks about at conventions. But one of the funny things is that as a way to combat the Satanic Panic, they actually hired Dr. Joyce Brothers.
Oh
to
my
help
goodness!
Them. Yes. So when he was a kid, he got to meet Dr. Joyce Brothers.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that.
I don't want to go out too much off of a tangent, but he was telling us about all the different people that he met back then, and I think the one that intrigued me the most was was it Don Cornelius? From Soul Train?
Sure, why not? But of course.
Apparently he doesn't like snakes.
Oh, well then you got to put him in the adventure. That's what you do.
Exactly.
You got to put him in there then.
So you guys are like kind of reenacting these passages.
Yes, but there is, like I said, there's a particular twist in the way the story is being told, because just like we said, everybody's learning and figuring out what ways to tell stories and how to make it unique. So rather than this just being a documentary, there is a particular frame around it involving Will, and it being a little bit more game related than necessarily a full, like, this is exactly what happened and deal. It's definitely it's definitely fictionalized.
Right. So, but you'll actually be like acting as the character, as the people.
Yes, on the podcast. Yeah.
So who are you playing?
I can't tell you.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not allowed. I could tell you, but I have to tell you.
Well, we know it's not Dr. Joyce Brothers.
It's definitely not Dr. Joyce Brothers. If I went that blonde, people would think I would be like the Indian Tina Turner. It would be weird. It would be very weird. I can't dance like Tina or sing like Tina, so that would not be fair.
Well, the thing that I like about that is that I'm a huge fan and have kind of gone back to, since they've like resurfaced through YouTube and other places, of like the old radio plays.
Oh, I love that.
I'm not a big fan of like audio books, but radio plays like hit that sweet spot for me. There was a really good one, a Sandman radio.
Yes, of course.
Fan. But and then of course I went back and listened to all the Star Wars radio plays from back in the 70s. But yeah, I can't wait to check that out. That sounds really cool. There's actually one
that I also just did really with an incredibly stacked cast. Stashwick is in that as well, and Sandeep Parikh from Desi Quest, which we talked about.
Yeah.
But it's called Project Exile.
Oh.
And we just finished that one. It's a sci-fi one. We just finished, I think it's season 2 of that, so you can check that one out.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah, well, feel free to...
Long flights, if you have long flights, podcasts are perfect. Download the podcast.
Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Oh my goodness. I mean, how much time have we got? I'm so in love with this creative community surrounding games. And I'm so eager. I'm so grateful to come back to gaming, because I was, a gamer as a kid, and then I experienced what I call the dark days of gaming in sort of the middle of my life. Like
we bonded about
we talked
last time we talked.
But to come back to gaming during a time when finally everybody's like kind of peeking out of the gaming closet and being like, yeah, it's cool to do this now.
Yes.
So now that creativity and that community, that sense of everybody is sitting at the table, everybody is part of the party, everybody gets a turn. That sense of collaboration is something that we don't see structurally inherent in a lot of entertainment.
Right.
Right. So I love that that is being pulled into this model now, and hopefully will start to trickle into everything. Because there's been a lot of times when you're trying to make great art, there's still a hierarchy that's happening. But even the dungeon master is sitting at the table with you.
Yeah, yeah.
So everybody's-
it's all about collaboration.
Exactly. And that's the fun of it.
And I think even further, it's all about empathy too, right? You're putting yourself in. I mean, you know this because
it's my job.
It's your job.
Yeah, yeah.
When you put yourself in the shoes of someone that isn't you, it radically changes your perspective.
Yeah.
If you're really, really trying to get into it.
Yeah, especially because sometimes you'll play the game, or people will play the game, and they'll do the thing that they know that they want to do, not necessarily the character would want to do. But if you really lean into that character and you go, I know this is a stupid thing, I know this is a bad idea, but I know this is what my character would do, and follow those threads through, and the intricate stories that get woven when bad decisions are made or natural ones are rolled,
Yes.
that's where the sauce is, and that's where the connection is, and that's where the connecting with each other and letting someone else's story come forward while you sit back and then taking that, that give and take. It's really, really special, and I think
Those
it's
moments that you don't plan for.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
that's
no,
the
no
beautiful
writer's
things
room
happen.
could come up with some of the things that have come up in games I've played.
Yeah.
So it's pretty magical.
Well, Anjali, it's been a pleasure once
It's
again.
so good
I'm
to
glad
talk
I finally
to you.
got to talk to you.
I know in person. Thank you, Gen Con.
Yes.
More gifts.
Fantastic. So yeah, definitely check out Puppy Roll.
The Puppy Roll.
Puppy Roll.
Yes.
And of course, the Dungeon Masters.
Dungeon
podcast
Masters
that's coming out.
podcast, Project Exile.
Yep.
And a bunch of other stuff I can't talk about.
Yeah, and we'll have to bug you about that.
Yes, as soon as it comes out. Wow.
Excellent. Are you going to be at PAX Unplugged?
Oh yeah.
All right. Maybe we'll touch base. Then.
Yes, that'll be perfect.
Awesome.
End of year wrap up.
Yeah, fantastic, fantastic.
Thank
well,
you.
thank you. And stay tuned to Gaming Trend for more Anjali Bhimani goodness coming in the future.